In 1879, Thomas Edison debuted his first incandescent light bulb. And while it wasn't the first electric light ever created, it was the first to be both cheap and long-lasting. So the following year, he founded the Edison Electric Light Company to start producing them on a large scale. But there was just one problem. They didn't actually have a way to distribute electricity over long distances. You see, at the time, the most popular way of generating electricity was using something called a dynamo, which consisted of a copper coil placed inside a magnetic field and then spun around really fast. But the problem is they were only about 20% efficient, meaning that for every 100 units of energy put into a dynamo, only 20 came out as electricity. The rest was lost as heat. And since no one had yet invented the concept of air conditioning, these dynamos had to be placed right next to the things they were powering. But all that changed with the invention of a new type of arc lamp. And when I tell you this arc lamp was hot, I'm not kidding. This is the electric furnace. No, it's not a spaceship. It was invented by Charles F. Brush in 1879. The same year Edison debuted his light bulb, though Brush's design was patented a full 10 years earlier in 1869. Unlike a regular arc lamp, which consisted of two metal points connected to a battery that would eventually burn up and melt away into a puddle of slag, Brush's design used two rotating copper discs with grooves cut into them. The discs would spin hundreds of times a minute, creating an arc between them that produced a bright, steady light. The light was so bright, in fact, that the Smithsonian, which had acquired one of Brush's original arc lamps, called it the most powerful electric light ever seen. It could illuminate an entire room from 300 feet away. The thing was a sensation. And for the first time, it became possible to light up an entire city with electric lights instead of having to place a dynamo in every building. But if the Smithsonian had been able to see what happened next, I think they might have called it the most short-lived electric light ever seen, because unfortunately, it turned out that the intense heat generated by the arc lamp caused the copper discs to expand at different rates, which eventually caused the whole thing to warp and break down. It turned out that for every 100 units of energy put into the furnace, only about 5 came out as light. The other 95% was lost as heat and noise. Not exactly a great improvement over the dynamo. Still, Brush's invention served its purpose because in 1881, it caught the attention of none other than Thomas Edison himself, who bought the rights to the furnace and incorporated the basic design into a new device he called the Graham dynamo, which was much more efficient at converting energy into electricity. In fact, it was so much better that for the first time, electricity could be sent through wires over long distances without losing too much power. The very next year, Edison Electric began experimenting with sending electricity over 20 miles through their new Graham dynamos and arc lamps, which paved the way for the first electric power plants. And all because Charles F. Brush wanted to build a better arc lamp. Though ironically, he ended up going down in history as the inventor of the electric furnace, a device whose purpose is to literally burn things, the complete opposite of what his arc lamp was designed to do. Speaking of things that produce light, it's light bulb time. And while you may think that all light bulbs are created equal, that's not true. Some of them are actually made with a special fire-resistant coating inside that makes them last way longer than others.